in this speech, I'm going to be persuading my audience on 5 valid points on why textbooks in college should be free. Are you tired of paying high costs for tuition, but then you have to buy your books? Textbooks range from $100 to $400 and some dollars, and it's not cheap. You have to pay for school, and then you have to come up with money for these books. Say you're taking a full course, you're taking 5 classes. Well, that's 5 books you have to come up with, and it's not cheap. The first reason that I want to discuss on why textbooks should be free is because textbooks prices are unreal. They're very, very expensive. They say, well, textbooks are expensive, why don't you just rent a textbook? Well, renting a textbook, the amount of renting a textbook and buying a textbook is really not that different, so you might as well just buy one. Another reason is when you buy a textbook, you're only buying it for that semester. So once that semester's over with, what do you do with your book? It just sits there because you're only gonna use it one time. That's a lot of money to spend on a book that you're only gonna use one time. Another thing is, if you buy a book, you can never sell it back to the bookstore for what you bought it for. You're never gonna get what you paid for, even if you sell it to someone else. They're not going to want to pay you, like say you bought a book for $400, they're not going to want to give you $400 when they can go buy it for $420 at a bookstore. It's just, I don't know, they're just not going to want to do that. A second reason that books should be free is because textbooks are barely used. It's a waste of money because why am I going to want to buy a book if I'm not even going to use it? I found a source by Silver, Stevens, and Clow of 2012. Their studies found when asked about student complaints regarding textbooks, they estimated that 42.4% of their students actually purchased or rented the required text of their courses. So that's pretty much saying that not even half of the students of that college even bought books or rented them because they didn't use them. Another thing is assignments. Everything that we do in class is online. Homework is online. PowerPoints are provided online. I get my PowerPoints through Blackboard and then I take that to class. I don't ever take my book, ever. Like I never barely use my textbook. So it's a waste of money to buy a book if you're not going to use it. A third thing is we can make things easier. We could save money. Each class could provide a textbook like we did in public schools. Like classes had books in the classroom and they were assigned at the beginning of the year, and then at the end you could turn your book in. And if you damaged it or if you wrote in it, then you'd have to pay for it. That would be a better deal than buying a ton of books. Another thing is you could have a choice. A professor could give you a choice on, we don't really use text, so, you can have a choice if you want to buy it or if you just want to go from lectures online like we do. I found another source by Swanson said in 2014, I was convinced on the importance of providing the textbook option for those who wanted it on page 298. This professor is pretty much saying that he knows that textbooks really aren't used, so he's going to give his students an option on if they wanted to buy it or not. A fourth thing I have on why textbooks should be free is to save paper. We could all share. Like I was saying, books could be assigned instead of printing off all of these books and making all of these students buy books. There could be 20 to 25 assigned in the classroom, and then each semester could use that book, so we could be saving money and we could be saving paper. I have another source by Cannon and Berkman, 2015, page 40 says, college instructors can help ease the financial burden placed on students by suggesting that all instructors assign a class textbook during the registration period. So like I said, books could be assigned in the beginning and turned in at the end. And then like I said, too many books are being made for no reason. It's never going to get used again, and having and sharing textbooks would save money and paper. Last but not least, finances. It's either money or no education. If you have money, great. If not, you're probably not going to get an education because it's way too expensive. Parents struggle to send their kids to school. And even if your parents aren't sending your kids to school, parents who are going back to school, it's not cheap. Like, it's not. It's hard. It's really, really hard, especially if you have families and things to take care of. It's not cheap to find this money that you need to go to school. And it's really not, it makes it really hard when you have to not even worry about finding tuition money, but then you have to buy all of these books to go to school. And some don't have that type of money. This limits kids from being able to get an education that they want. And then also another thing is financial aid. Not everybody gets financial aid. I don't get financial aid. Like, my mom makes too much, but really she doesn't. I don't get money, so I have to save money. I have to save money out of my pocket to pay for my school. And not only do I have to pay for my school, I have to pay for my textbooks, and it's not cheap. So that allows us as students to struggle in wanting to get an education. College will probably never allow textbooks to be free. It's just reality. It's probably never going to happen. Textbook companies would never make money. Schools would never make money. It's not going to happen. But hopefully, that I've been hearing, the President's Free College Plan will be a reality soon. It could never happen, or it could happen years from now. We can have hope that colleges could be free, because that would help out a lot of people that don't have the advantage of getting an education to get an education. And also, I believe education is a very important thing in today's society. You can't go out here and get a job that you want without an education. So I wish that people would stop making everything about money, which that's never going to happen, because everything in life is about money. Like, you have to have money for everything that you do. But money's not everything, and they really do need to think about ways that they could allow, like, tuition and all of this to be a little bit cheaper, and just the thought of, like, assigning books to classrooms would make college payable to other people, and it would make it a lot easier if college textbooks could be free. Thank you for watching my persuasive speech, and this is my audience.